Well, the operation has ended in Handwara, and now the paratroopers have started house intervention. And at this point in time, the bodies of 2 militants have been recovered from the spot, and at the same time, five army, including two army jawans, two army officers were martyred, along with two army jawans and one sub-inspector of Jammu and Kashmir police. So this operation started yesterday in the afternoon, continued till late last night till 11:30. And later, since it was raining and it was difficult for the army officers and in fact for the special operation group of Jammu and Kashmir police to conduct the operation. But in the wee hours the firing had started. There were few gun rounds that were initiated in the area, but now the bodies of 2 militants have been recovered, and what we have got to know that two army officers, including a colonel, a major, two army jawans and one sub-inspector of Jammu and Kashmir police have got martyred in this encounter that started yesterday. So now the paratroopers have started the intervention there, since the bodies have been recovered.
Okay, so really sad news we're getting this morning. On one hand, while yes, the security forces have managed to neutralize two terrorists, one colonel, one major and two army jawans, Sohil, have been martyred as well. Could you tell us a little more about for how long this encounter went on? Because the kind of reports that you were sending at us last night, it appeared that, that how the contact with these officers also was lost in between.
See, the operation actually lasted for more than 12 hours because it started at around 3 p.m. yesterday. And before, actually, there was a cordon already that was in place on Friday. But it started yesterday again on Saturday at around 3 p.m. It started in the outskirts of Handwara area. And late last night, the firing was there till 11:30. It stopped because it was already disrupting the operation because of heavy rains. But later in the morning, the bodies of 2 militants were recovered, and the security forces also got to know that they have already lost two officers, including a colonel and a major, along with two army jawans and a sub-inspector of the Jammu and Kashmir police, who basically had entered the house. And what we have got to know from the army, that basically all the officers and the jawans were trying to save the lives of the local people who were stuck inside a residential house because of the continuous firing from the militants who were there at the spot.
With us, Sohil, let me go across to my colleague Srinjoy Chaudhary, who's also joining us live right now. Srinjoy, really sad news we've got this morning. One colonel, one major and two army jawans martyred, and it was an encounter that went on for hours. A very difficult one indeed, this one was.
Yes, absolutely right. In fact, the Handwara operation began not just yesterday, but day before yesterday in the morning. And after that, during the day before yesterday, then yesterday in the morning, and then of course in that village, in those three houses. We know that the colonel of the Rashtriya Rifles battalion and a young major went across to try and save civilians, along with one jawan, two jawans really, and a jawan or sub-inspector of the Jammu and Kashmir police. And this is where the encounter has taken place, and it's a very heavy price that the army is paying today. A colonel of the Indian Army has died fighting terrorists, died trying to save civilians in Jammu and Kashmir in Handwara, and along with a major and two jawans and a sub-inspector of the Jammu and Kashmir police. It's a big price you pay. Two militants have also been killed in this encounter, but four Indian Army personnel and one sub-inspector of the Jammu and Kashmir police is a very heavy price on a day like this. And surely this is a day that the nation will mourn, because a colonel of the Indian Army has died, a major of the Indian Army has died, two jawans have also died. So it's a really heavy price, and this is a day the nation will have to mourn. It's important to know that they died fighting to save the lives of local civilians. They were there in Handwara. This operation has been going on for the last 48 hours, and yesterday, even though there were reports that they had been extricated, literally, the army was not so sure. I was speaking with people late into the night, And even when I asked them that, look, we are hearing that everyone has been extricated, what we were hearing is, we don't think so. We don't think so. Early this morning, we got the really bad news that, yes, there have been 5 casualties. And this is a day
really
that,
sad news coming. 5 casualties on the Indian side when Indian forces were trying to save the civilians who were trapped in this particular area. Stay on with us, Srinjoy. Let me go across to Sohil once again as well. Sohil, what is the latest that you can share with us? Is there a possibility of more terrorists around that area? What's the information? What is happening right now? Is the search and cordon operation now underway?
Well, the operation has been called off by the security forces. It was just the last step that was taken by the security forces, and that was basically the house intervention in which they were checking if any militant is still alive. But the 2 bodies have been, after the intervention, 2 bodies of militants have been recovered from there, and there's the 5 casualty of the security officers actually. One is the Army Colonel of 21 Rashtra Rifles, one is Major, one is Lance Naik, one rifleman, and the Sub-Inspector of the Jammu and Kashmir Police. So finally operation has been called off, and in which the 2 bodies have been recovered. But there was suspected, the security forces were actually suspecting that there may be presence of 3 to 4 militants. But now it's only the 2 militants who were, stuck inside and later killed.
Okay, stay on with us, Srinjoy. Now, at a time when the world is fighting coronavirus, we are seeing these kind of activities still going on. Infiltration has also gone up from Pakistan to India of terrorists, specifically ceasefire violations still being reported.
Oh, there is no doubt that this is just the beginning of a really long, hard, difficult summer. Because regardless of coronavirus, the intelligence reports that we've been getting, and at the launch pads along the line of control, call it Atmukam or call it anything else, at all these launch pads, you have 2, 3, 4, 5 terrorists, all of them well-trained, well-financed, well-armed. They are all there on the line of control. What we are also getting from these intelligence reports is the possibility of bat attacks. That means terrorists, along with Pakistani army guerrillas of the SSG, attacking Indian posts on the line of control. These are intelligence reports we've been getting for a long, long time. In fact, this has happened inside. There were apprehensions that these attacks would take place right on the line of control, on posts that were inside. This, of course, has happened because of infiltration. These terrorists had infiltrated at some point, and then they attacked these villages in the Handwara area, which is when this colonel of the 21 Rashtriya Rifles, a young major, and 2 jawans rushed to the area to try and save the civilians. And they have paid a very heavy price. They have laid down their lives. But as far as Pakistan is concerned, the terror tap continues to flow, and there is no doubt that now that the snows have melted, there will be more such attacks.
Okay, stay on with us. Sohil, now, all this is happening while we have seen lot of counter-terror operations continuously taking place in Jammu and Kashmir. Successfully, Indian forces managed to foil several attempts of terrorists in the last few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. North Kashmir is entirely different from South Kashmir, because North Kashmir is definitely, when there is infiltration, all these militants are coming from the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. So mostly these militants are from the Jaish-e-Mohammed outfit. Though in South Kashmir, there's a huge presence of Hizbul Mujahideen. So these, when Jaish militants come, they are always, armed, well-trained, and as Srinjoy was already mentioning, that they definitely are well-trained and as well financed. So thereby in the recent week, in fact, if we talk about in the fortnight, what we have seen, there was continuous ceasefire violation from Pakistan. So basically, when there is continuous ceasefire from violation, it means that this is being given a cover shelter to the infiltrators. So thereby when infiltration takes place, so these militants come and go for the terror strike. So this is one of the incidents, because what we have got to know that recently there was an infiltration of 7 to 8 militants in a group, and that came to North Kashmir, and this group was one of them that attacked, and we lost officers and jawans.
Yes, really a sad morning after a long night, but our forces gave a befitting reply, and in the end we also have lost 5 of our brave soldiers, including 1 colonel and 1 army major as well. Thank you very much, Sohil, as well as Srinjoy, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. We'll slip into a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.